literally can't believe it. I did a live stream at 8:15 for about half an hour, showing you proof and receipts why I believe that this is a big hoax. And oh, they've took it down. Literally, they've took it down. It was there for about 10 minutes and it's gone. Yeah. Crazy censorship we're going through right now. This is absolutely frightening, people. Unbelievably frightening. Yep. It's frightening. I was just telling everyone why, because when they put the 5G masks outside, that I was sensitive to this and it made me ill in a couple of weeks. Put me in hospital. What else? I told everybody about my mother-in-law who'd been in hospital twice in 3 weeks, and they gave her 2 false positives with no treatment, no symptoms. She was literally absolutely fine, and they told us, oh, she's really poorly, can we put do not resuscitate above her bed after 2 days of her being in there for a broken hip, not anything else. Well, you never know, you know, she's a smoker and she's got Parkinson's. We've never actually seen the Parkinson's symptoms, and she's not had a cigarette for 18 months. I did tell the doctor that. I also told him that I'd spoken to some of his colleagues that had informed me that this is not a virus, that this is like if somebody had been in an aeroplane crash and the windows had come in and the lungs had been, you know, blown, and because of that's the type of injury they're seeing, hypoxic injuries, not viral injuries. I was told that by doctors months ago when I went and stood outside the Vic and had a quick word. I've also seen ambulance drivers with their lights on for no reason, and I've pulled them and they've said, well, I've got kids to feed, we've been told to do it, so that people know that this is, you know, this is terrible, and they don't get lax and they don't forget how bad it is. Well, this is how bad it is, right? Yesterday, we were told that the figures that we've been told for this are 90% inflated. 90% inflated, right? So the truth of it is this. Let me just tell you this, right? Every year, a certain number of people die of flu, pneumonia, and lower respiratory diseases, yeah? Now, this year, the rate of the people dying from this, the lower respiratory diseases, are down 19.1%. 18.5% dementia cases are down. And 19.3% pneumonia figures are down, right? So according to this, 53 out of 100,000 people die from COVID. That's what they say. 53 out of 100,000 might die from this, if there is a this. So all of these figures that they've added up this year are like nearly 20% less are dementia, lower respiratory diseases, pneumonia. Okay, so 16.7, 18.5 for dementia, 16.7 for lower respiratory, and 19.1% lower than last year are flu, pneumonia. So we've got 20% nearly in each of them categories, which is nearly 60%. The only thing that's on the rise is COVID, yeah? Everything is COVID today, everything. Not with COVID, as it should be, because they're not testing people that are dying or dead. They're just assuming that they've got COVID because they might have died with a chest infection. It's absolutely sick in the head, is what it is. So if you add them figures up, 54.3% 54.3 out of 100,000 is who normally die on, you know, on a regular flu, pneumonia, dementia. 54.3 people in 100,000 is what normally die. Well, if you add that up, that's what they're saying about the COVID. The COVID figures, because they've put all of these things down, dementia, flu, pneumonia, chronic lower respiratory diseases, they've put all of those things down to COVID this year. So, think what you like. I'm not saying anything. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that that nobody, you know, that 20% less have died of all these things, and yet when you add them figures up, that brings it to the usual that we get every June. You know, the mortality rate in this June was lower than it was last June. Does not amount to a pandemic, folks. It really doesn't. And yet the government is still banging on like we're dealing with the bubonic plague or the Black Death. That is not what this is. If it's anything, it's a cold, but I know it's not. I was getting ill from the 5G and the Wi-Fi, as were thousands of other people around the world. And I still am. So let's try and keep it in perspective. You know, it's as dangerous as a cold, and it seems to be the only thing that people are dying of. Very worrying. Bye now.